Hello, everyone. Um, Today I'm going to start the series of explaining to you about Holy Chic Iconic installation art and where I got the inspiration and how it's evolved over the last, let's go with 25 years and 1990 something. Um, anyway, um, and I'm going to give you a look around my home. Um, each piece is going to have its own video and its own explanation. But this is the place it started. And it started with this painting right here of Vincent Van Gogh's. I have doctored this painting or revised this painting. I don't look at it as defiling it at all. I'm just reinterpreting something about this painting that I experienced. And in doing so, I've changed it somewhat. The magnificence is still there. Um, it started, I saw the original works at the J. Paul Getty Museum of Art in Malibu, California, many years ago. I'm going to say 89 or 90, 1989 or 1990. I had enrolled at Dixie College in an art class. And I'd always wanted to get back into art and do that. I'd had some degree of success as a healer, as a medicine woman, as someone who helped midwife children into this earth. I was helping people understand their past life regressions and their past lives through regression work. I had my naturopathic training, my herbalist training. I was very involved. I was running a holistic clinic where we did detox work. We got referrals from medical physicians, oncologists to do detox work and get their patients capable of managing their bodies and being able to heal whatever therapies they were doing. Like if a plastic surgeon is going to be grafting the skin of a burn victim, but that burn victim has been on morphine for a long period of time, they will have to be detoxed before the work the plastic surgeon can do will be effective and the grafts will hold and take. And so their body has to be detoxed. And so I got a lot of referrals back in those days from medical doctors who were referring their patients for detox. So I found out that going back to art school, that's what I wanted to do. Because being in practice and helping doctors or helping people to heal, it's pretty intense work. And you take on and you feel a lot of emotions, you feel a lot of things. And as a shaman and as the white horse, I journeyed with them on their journey and then could safely remove them or bring them back and witness their journey, out of the void as they would travel into their own healing sipaipu, their inner worlds. And so I quickly found out that one, I was definitely a colon hygienist. God help us all. I did not plan that, but I was good at it. I was experienced at it. I had all the best teachers, Dr. Bernard Jensen, as most of you know. And it's a much needed service on the planet. I still to this day train people and get them their certifications so that they can help other people, because there is a lot to that modality to help other people. Anyway, I went back to college to learn a little bit more about art, because that was my way of decompressing and tuning into the voice of God, and connecting to my higher self, my higher guides, the ascended masters that kind of looked over me. And I found out very quickly that art is an expensive addiction or habit or opportunity. And so I kept building my clinic a little bit more, and was able to take in a little bit more. Anyway, on this trip out to the J. Paul Getty Museum, I walked into the room where they have the great masters. And as I looked around the room, I was just in awe of the beauty that I saw, the absolute perfection, the the talent, the skill, the wisdom, the complexity of what I saw on those walls. It was the most wonderful experience. I was truly smitten. Anyway, and overwhelmed. I didn't know which way to go, and so I just kind of looked around the room, and I immediately turned to my right. And as I looked up on the wall, I was right in front of this painting. And I was literally about this far away, a foot and a half, 2 feet away. And I could see the depth of that paint. I could see colors that I had never seen before. I knew the story of Vincent Van Gogh, and that he had gone mad, crazy, insane, whatever your word for that is. He lost his mind. He lost touch with this third dimension reality, and cut off his ear. Well, even with all that story behind it, I was standing in front of one of the most magnificent paintings that I've ever seen and will probably ever see, including my own. And I just stood there and cried. And still to this day, it affects me. The magnificence, I can't even tell you. And if you're ever in that area, go see this painting. Let it wash over you. Let it talk to you. Let it show you color. Let it show you dimension on a canvas. Let it show you its secrets. And many of you have ideas about the white iris. So, but experience this painting for yourself. Experience its truth for yourself. There's many codes in this that will activate your artist. There were many codes that were revealed to me at that point that I was just in awe of. I have still to this day not enough words to describe it. So I stood there and looked at this painting for quite some time and thought, wow, here's a man that was driven insane or went insane or lost touch with the earthly psychological reality that has been established by our medical profession. And he still was able to hold his connection to God long enough, to hear the voice of God long enough to paint this painting. And I don't know if you're a meditator and you've ever done Buddhist meditation where the Buddha was enlightened in 29 pure breaths. And if you ever tried to breathe 29 pure breaths, you would understand how hard 29 pure breaths is. 29 doesn't sound like a big number, but it's hard to filter out everything in your mind and just tune in to breathing only 29 pure breaths. Now, if you have an intrusive thought, you start all over again at 1. And then you breathe in, you breathe out, you have 1. Breathe in, breathe out, you have 2. Breathe in, breathe out, you have 3. Do that 29 times without an intrusive thought, without your mind wandering off. That's what it took for Buddha to become enlightened. 29 pure breaths. And he was able to hear the voice of God. Now, here we have an artist who stood before this canvas and heard the voice of God long enough to paint one of the greatest masterpieces of our time, in my opinion. Okay? Now, when I stood there in front of that painting, I saw the colors move. I saw their auras. I saw them move and sparkle. And I witnessed the Holy Spirit in that painting. So I see the Holy Spirit sometimes as a little luminescence, a little glitter, a little sparkle, a little shine, a little aura, some people call it. And so when I got this canvas of the irises, as you can probably see when you come into my home, I've put some glitter into it. And that's because that's what I saw. That's what I witnessed. And this painting will be forever the picture, the piece, the masterpiece that started me on this conscious downloading of the divine genius artist within myself. So I get impressions, I get promptings, I get intuitions. Some people call it channelings. Sometimes it's in my dreams. Sometimes it's just a vision of something. You know, you get it and it just comes all together. Many artists, movie producers, book writers, artists, they have a connection with the divine intelligence, with the divine genius within the universe. And they can download that and then skillfully craft an art form that relays their experience. So with that being said, I'm going to bid you adieu and let you ponder all of the magnificent things that are within you, because you too have the divine, intelligent, genius, artist within you. I teach classes about how to connect with that. They activate that, and they allow you to go full steam into that inner Sipaipu. Sipaipu is a word, a Native American word for an inner opening. It takes you into an inner world. And when you go into that inner world, some people may call it the void. Some people may call it whatever's behind the quantum field. It is a place of creation itself. And when you go there, the magnificence that is for you, just you, to download and activate and start moving your DNA into a frequency pattern that can paint a masterpiece. This painting is worth millions and millions of dollars now. And I think at the time he wasn't a wealthy man. So with that being said, I will let you go and ponder this, and maybe in my little talk, in my demonstration, you too have been activated and could paint the irises.